myself or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah is inside of the conscientious, so I move with it.
Well, I don't make my work for you to interpret it. I make it for Black young people so that they can understand that we are at war, that we have to be strong-minded, that we have to be productive, that we have to be unafraid of expressing ourselves and getting what we want in this society.
But isn't there a danger in telling young people, encouraging them to be militant? Aren't you taking them down a track that can only lead to a cul-de-sac, and at the same time alienating a lot of people who really don't understand or accept or even grasp that militant language?
Family, can y'all hear me? Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Check 1 2 1 2. Now I'm getting. Can y'all hear? So y'all can hear? Okay.
I can.
Okay. Okay.
You were completely gone though, like for 3 minutes.
The whole thing was gone, right? The video wasn't playing or nothing, right?
No, she was playing, but it sounded like she was a robot or underwater, so we couldn't understand anything that she was saying.
And it wasn't playing at all on my side.
It was playing, but we couldn't understand her.
Yeah, it looked like my my Wi-Fi signal that I normally use is not going to act right today, so I switched to the other one. Hopefully this one is stable. But let me try that again. Again, because this was kind of important. And I know a lot of y'all might have probably seen this clip before.
Yeah, but it's one of my faves.
For sure.
Well, I don't make my work for you to interpret it. I make it for Black young people so that they can understand that we are at war, that we have to be strong-minded, that we have to be productive, that we have to be unafraid of expressing ourselves and getting what we want in this society.
But isn't there a danger in telling young people, encouraging them to be militant? Aren't you?
So y'all can see it and hear it fine now, right?
Yes.
Everything is good now, right? Okay, so
Yes.
sound and image is good now. Okay, thank you for bearing with us, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share this out on your social media platforms and click the notification bell, all of that good stuff. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started, man. Sorry about the tech issues.
You know, YouTube be
Taking them down a track that can only lead to a cul-de-sac, and at the same time alienating a lot of people who really don't understand or accept or even grasp that militant language.
Well, what most people who know my work know is that I don't only teach young Blacks to be militant, I teach them to be intelligent, substantive, to make analysis. I think that America has to stop painting young Black people as being uncivilized and irrational, which is what they've done in the coverage of this story in Los Angeles. I think that we have to look at the fact that Black people didn't just run outside and burn out their houses because they were angry. The Beverly Center was wrecked, and that's in a white area. Korean businesses were targeted because that Korean woman shot and killed LaTarsha Hollins, and she was convicted of the crime, and she did not one day in jail. And we got 25% of our Black male population behind bars doing exorbitant sentences for small crimes, and we don't get justice. These are the reasons why people were attacked.
Describe, as you see it, the gap between those young people and the rest of society.
The gap between young people and the rest of society is that young people don't have hope. Jesse Jackson says, keep hope alive, but there is no hope because they look at the leadership, number one, and they say, okay, to get along in American society, you have to be a sellout. You have to put on a suit, talk like a white man, ask for what white people want, say what white people like to be successful. And young Black people don't see that as something that they want to strive for. We want to be able to be who we are, talk how we talk, walk how we walk, live how we want to live, and be producers and providers for our children in the future. We want to be African.
Didn't you want to go into politics once? You went to Washington and worked, didn't you?
I went to Washington and worked, but once I found out that there was no work going on in Washington, I decided that I didn't want to be part of that scenario.
What did you see? What do you mean no work going on?
What I saw was a lot of fake people, a lot of phony people. There are ways that I could intellectualize it, but I wouldn't even do that because I'm not trying to show you my skills. I'm trying to tell you the truth.
Well, I know from reading about you and from the young people on my staff, you have skills other than music, as we've just seen. But what do you think about this, Robert Woodson?
Well, I wish the issue were as simple as the young lady is putting it. When I asked myself then if power is what we were striving for, and that was the call in the 60s, why is it in my city of Washington, D.C., we have been in control of the courts, we have been in control of the city hall, the school board, zoning commissions, and yet poor Blacks in that city are no better off when they were controlled by whites. The same is true in Los Angeles, the same is true of Atlanta. The issue is, and so that we are failing our own people in some cases. And so it's really, in some cases, as I see it, it is the rules of the game that have to be changed, not just the sex of the ruler. Because if you take over a government structure that is not fair to poor people, that emphasizes downtown development, where 80% of all the development dollars that flows into these cities develops downtown, none in the neighborhoods. Yet the neighborhoods and the violence there is used as a rationale for getting urban action grants in the 60s and 70s. When that money comes, it does not go in the neighborhoods. And some Black officials who are in control of it make sure that their friends are taken care of. And so that it doesn't matter then who controls it if what they do is corrupt.
The thing that we have to be clear about is the definition of power. I don't consider Mayor Dinkins to be powerful. I didn't consider Marion Barry to be powerful. I don't even consider the Black woman who's there to be powerful. Tom Bradley, the guy in Los Angeles, I consider him to be pitiful, not powerful.
Who is powerful?
Powerful is when you can deliver resources services and substances to your people and not compromise. The only Black people who can become mayors of these cities are people who compromise with the white power system and deliver the resources to other places other than our communities in Los Angeles. And I think the reason why we wouldn't be sitting here if they would have delivered the right verdict is because white people wouldn't have been hurt, white property wouldn't have been damaged, and America wouldn't have lost to the tune of $500 million. In terms of solutions, however, for young people, I see it as Black people having to put pressure on the system, continued and consistent pressure, that we need to, I'm going to tell you what for. What we need to do is get our experts together, make an economic assessment of our relationship to America, our contributions to corporate activity, and divest from America as a white racist institution. Black youth, we spend a lot of money on sneakers, we spend a lot of money on gear, we spend a lot of money on jewelry, and we're going to have to be unified. For the first time in Los Angeles, we saw unity between the Bloods and the Crips. We need that.
Yes,
we need Black
but
unity.
Sister Soldier, these two gangs out there were unified in looting the community. They temporarily abandoned their own enmity between each other and helped to ransack their own community.
That doesn't mean that I give up hope on their ability to become politically conscious. I think that Black youth have been neglected, and they've also been looted, which is why they're looting. Well,
Man.
Love her.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is Sister Soldier right there. Powerful, powerful, powerful sister, man.
Yes.
Goosebumps every time I hear her speak, man, especially back then when she had all that fire. You know what I'm saying?
And everything.
But what's going on, family? Say what?
I said everything she said then reigns true today. Nothing has changed since that conversation.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It sounds a lot like the conversations we are having right now in 2021, you know, and there was another clip I was listening to when I was trying to choose what I was going to play for today's show. Well, sister named Barbara Sizemore. I don't know how many of y'all might be familiar with the sister Barbara Sizemore. She worked in the educational realm, I think in DC and maybe some other states, but definitely in DC. She was in the education department for a while, trying to get some revolutionary work done in the school systems. And when I was listening to that clip, they were talking about how they've been having this argument. They've been having this conversation for 30 years. And that clip was from 92, 93.
Right.
And she was talking about this conversation been going on for 30 years then. And here we are still having the same conversations.
And we haven't moved the goalpost at all. The goalpost has not moved at all in our communities at all. What they give us is symbolic gestures. They give us faces that look like progress, yet nothing, no resources, not even jobs, let alone resources. You know, I was telling my cousin, my son has been trying to get a job, you know what I'm saying, literally since, I'll say, early this year. You know, once he turned 16, he's like, Mom, I want a job. He's had a summer job and stuff like that, but he wants an after-school job, kind of that can, you know, work around his football schedule, which is not football season. He will literally get interviews easy. But when he gets there, oh, well, you know, thank you so much for coming, but we're looking for bilingual. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's problematic, especially at McDonald's. The damn menu is in English. So whoever comes there know they want a number 1 through 12 or whatever the hell it is. So I just feel like that's a slap in the face. And when people say, pull yourselves up by your bootstraps, you have youngins that are trying to get summer jobs and, you know, earn $1, build their resume, you know what I'm saying? And then they get shut down by saying that I want someone here bilingual. Well, you should have said that before you called me, because you can tell by his name he ain't bilingual.
Not only that, you're being replaced. You know what I'm saying? The young job market is being substituted by these, a lot of times, people whose parents are illegal. You know what I'm saying? And even if they're not illegal, they still, you know, migrated over here to this country, and you getting opportunities before the native people. And that's the problem. And to me, the reason why the needle hasn't moved, you know what I'm saying, like we saying about the clip, is because of people like the dude that was inside that clip that was speaking as well. People like him have been the problem for us. Those are our biggest problem. Like the white supremacists, if these Negroes just get out the way, we can handle the white supremacists. But all of these Negro shills is the major problem, because a lot of times, for a long time, we've looked up to a lot of these people. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen ourselves in them, and we're like, okay, we got some type of representation. We got somebody out there that's going to look out for our best interests. And meanwhile, they've been running interference the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So if they just get out the way, I mean, we can handle the white supremacists, man.
Right. And then a lot of them, you know, like what's her name? Sheila Jackson Lee. You know, your lineage is not even, you know, FBA, you know. So, you know, so that also is a problem too, because we have to also wonder why these Black looking people are pushing immigration policies, everything but something specific to Black people. It just doesn't make sense. And yes, there are Black immigrants, we get that, but we can't jump over the Black people, the freedmen here in America, the descendants of the freedmen here in America, over these other people. And that's what's been going on for too long.
Facts, man. Facts. But again, we here. So welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Appreciate y'all being here with us on this Sunday evening, or evening on my side, still daytime over there on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate y'all being here with us. I'm the God Sincere Love, here with my co-host, nyctegur. What's the weather like this week? What y'all got going on?
It's like 65 degrees right now. It's cold. It's going to start raining on Tuesday.
It actually been warm over here.
I've had my heater on all day.
It been on the warm side over here. It's probably like 65 over here, but that's warm for us. You know what I mean? Did you see all of those tornadoes? Man. The weather been crazy. Hold on, I think Jackson sent us something about those storms. So yeah, at least 84 people likely dead from the massive storm. At least 30 tornadoes were reported across 6 states. Kentucky. Andy Bashir says the devastation is unlike anything I have seen in my life. And so, did you see some of those images?
Yes, I did, especially the one it was like a retirement home. It ran through a retirement home, as well as they just found out at a Amazon warehouse. They found some folks in there, you know, deceased as well.
That's what I thought. I was looking at too when I was cleaning up at the shop yesterday. They had the news on, and I'm like, that looked like an Amazon factory, because you seen the trucks and everything over there. It was tore up. Like whole towns got devastated. Like those are some crazy tornadoes. What they said, at least 30 tornadoes. And so I think that has something to do with the weather that we got, because it was real warm most of the day yesterday, and then like later in the late afternoon, early evening, it started raining mad hard. And so I think that was just some of the remnants from those storms, because that was way out in like middle America, Kentucky, and all that. Man, but
that was all. It was sad, just sad, especially the nursing home. You got, you know, loved ones, these older people, they can't run. They, even if they had a basement or, you know, some type of emergency, you know, way to move these people, it wasn't too much they can do. I think, did they even have a warning? Usually you can get a warning with a tornado, right?
I don't know. I've never been in that type of weather. I've never been nowhere where they have tornadoes at. What do people do? Is there any type of, I mean, obviously if they can see it coming some miles off, then people can evacuate. But other than that, what can you possibly do?
What can you do? Sad.
Yeah, that's
now,
crazy.
I think I sent you guys something also in our little thing that we have, but they were saying something where I guess China can manipulate weather.
Not just China.
I mean, true.
Not just China. They've been manipulating weather for a long time, man. You know, I ain't gonna get too conspiratorial,
Right.
But allegedly, HARP and all of these other programs, they've been around for a long time. And you've seen this past summer where they had to make it rain over there in Dubai because it was so hot and dry. They had to manufacture the rain over there just to cool the place or get some type of hydration over there. So they could definitely manipulate the weather. We know that.
But that just kind of bothers me a little bit too, because that's like, this is God's creation. You know what I'm saying? So when you start, if you're from there, and live in those climates, your body is gonna adjust to it. And I can say you won't be a little miserable or whatever, but you can't be up in here messing with what God does. To me, I just feel like that's problematic. You're gonna mess something up. That also puts too much power in, these corrupt, crazy, lunatic people's hands. Like, that kind of bugs me a lot.
Yeah, I think the technology itself is fine. It's just like you said, it's in the hands of the wrong people, the powers that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the technology is fine. If we have the capacity to think and imagine and create these things, you know what I'm saying? In the hands of the right people, then it could be like some miraculous stuff. Like, for instance, a lot of people have been talking about that chip that Elon Musk is coming out with that's supposed to be able to help paraplegic people. They're going to insert a chip into your brain, you know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to send the proper signals to the body so that paraplegic people could walk and, do what they're supposed to do. And so, everybody like, well, this sounds kind of spooky. This sounds kind of scary. I don't know about putting no chips in my brain, but if it's used for what they saying it's going to be used for, then to me, that's dope.
Right.
But obviously, these are not people that we could trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
These people also have the power to, hit the off button if they want to, or something like that. Like,
exactly.
You make me mad, like, hit the off button.
You know what I'm saying? Or some MK Ultra shit where, they could push a button and motherfucker go do a mass shooting somewhere, or, you know what I mean? Shit like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just, who's controlling the levers of power. And the technology itself is fine, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
My voice is a little janky. I don't know what's going on.
Scratchy too.
Yeah. People have manipulated the weather to decrease population. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're talking about.
I didn't want to say nothing. I was like, maybe the other thing ain't working, so they have to do something else. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they weaponize everything.
Everything.
They weaponize everything. They're in a constant state of war. So everything gets weaponized.
And you notice when these things happen, it happens in the most porous areas. If you notice, like, I just feel like that speaks volume in itself. Like, this just can't happen anywhere else but the poorest of the poor area, an area that's already struggling. The people are already, barely making it, or, just, surviving. And this happens only in specific areas, whether that's Hurricane Katrina, Ida, I pay attention to all that.
Indeed. Tailoring the population,
right,
to what they deem to be acceptable or useful. They refer to us as, useless eaters. The goyim. So I sound fine. I don't know. My voice is a little raspy today. Y'all gonna have to rock with me though.
Right. Jackson Harlem just asked a great question. What if the chip gets recalled? Like how
everything
long do
else.
you have to get it tuned up or repaired or removed and replaced and all that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, from the article that I read, it's not something that's permanent. It can be removed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it sounds like they're trying to get that thing, moving as soon as possible. They're trying to get out there as soon as possible. Like, this ain't something that's 10, 15 years down the line. Like, next couple of years, we're going to be seeing people lined up getting these chips inserted in their brains. And so we'll see what happens.
There's a lot of resources then that's being spent on that, right? Because stuff like this, that type of technology is very, very costly. right? So you have these very people that are willing to spend a lot of money, and not to say it's not needed, right? And that it wouldn't be a beautiful thing that can happen for people that are paralyzed. But what about the people that need stuff now? What about reparations now? What about, the very people that you claim are the most, oppressed, suppressed, just all these things, because, it's always us. Yet when we start talking about monetary compensation, all of a sudden, everybody is confused. They're scratching their head. They don't know how, but where's all that money going to come from? Well, how do we pay for that? But I don't see a problem with y'all spending money in other ways. I don't consider all of it wasteful, but I feel like you guys can take care of this first, and then we can move into that sector.
Yeah, absolutely. And we gotta definitely keep beating the drum on that and making some noise about that, because they ain't gonna just let up and say, you know what, we owe these folks. Let's just go on and pay the debt. That ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna have to, like you said, we're gonna have to just speak up and continue to make these demands, and also continue to divest, from like Sister Soldier was saying, divest from their institutions, divesting from their voting systems, from all of that, because we make the shit go around at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We the ones that make the shit go around. So, that's why we gotta continue to focus on the problem, because the more we focus on it, the more we'll come up with the proper solutions.
Right. The main thing is the solutions. And I think there's a lot of solutions there. I just think that, like you said, the people behind the scenes that be running interference with the solution. Like, you can make all the solution, come up with great ideas and plans. They will run all around that, it's like, and I think that we also need to get rid of them as well. Like, the only way we're going to see progress too is getting rid of these people in the background that's running interference, the ones that's talking that talk, but then when they get in position, they do a flip on us. Like, all that is a no more. They ain't doing that no more.
Exactly. And so that's the thing. That's like I said earlier. We could deal with the white supremacists. We just got to get these turncoat Negroes out the way. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of solutions we need to be working on. But what you just thought about?
So there was a turncoat Negro, but not on us. I can't think of his name, and I'm searching for it right now. But this was one of those, Negroes that was part of the Republican Party, a Black conservative. They catch him up on video, whatever. Someone has a hidden camera, and he's basically admitting that what he's doing in order, one, to get resources. You know what I'm saying? How racist the Republican Party is. His name is Alex for Arizona. I don't know what his real name. Alex Stovall. That's what his name is. Alex Stovall. So basically, he gets caught. Someone is, recording him behind the scenes. I guess he was comfortable with this person, and basically he's talking about how the Republican Party is completely racist, and basically how he just pretends to be conservative in order to get the resources that comes along with that. Now, that's fine and dandy if he was bringing those resources back home, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tag you in it right now. Yeah.
What's his name?
Alex Stovall, Stowal. I just tagged you in it on Twitter. VALL, sorry.
Oh, Alex Stovall, U.S. Congress.
Yeah. So he been finessing. They got several videos of him, pretty much talking that talk. Like, it's just the money. You get money. When you pretend, to be conservative and talk like them and all this stuff. And the whole time, it's a whole finesse. Now, if they're on the Republican side, you just imagine the ones that's on the blue side.
Oh yeah. Now, is this dude supposed to be FBA?
That I don't know. He does have that haircut. And them haircuts, like, I have literally feel like I mastered it with these haircuts. There's just haircuts that we will not rock. Our brothers just won't do. You just know.
Okay, I see what you're talking about over here. Okay. Shout out to our brother Alex Stovall, who pretended to be a
Yeah.
male version of Candace Owens so he could
Mm-hmm.
finesse money out of the far right white supremacists. I
Oh,
love
they
when
got all
black
kind of
right wingers, huh?
videos. They got all kind of videos of him, like just going to lunch with people, driving down the street. Whoever this person is, it had to be the person that he's lunching with. He thought was a friend, but she
That's
been
funny.
collecting receipts.
That's funny. I haven't seen this hustle in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this hustle be publicized in a while, but a lot of these Negroes be doing this type of shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hold
Here
on.
he
Let me see.
is.
The election.
Hold on.
But I'm not going to. The Republican Party is disgusting to me. The stuff that they're doing, it should be criminal, and they should all be thrown in prison. They want to vote for me just so they can say that they elected the youngest black Republican in American history.
Meet Alex Stovall, Arizona Republican candidate for U.S. Congress, an insider within his campaign. Comments many of his voters and the Republican.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Fair use.
All right.
Comment and education purposes.
Party will find troubling.
Yes.
Yeah.
The McCarthys, the Cawthorns, the whole audit bullcrap thing that they're doing. It's just another way for them to funnel money for the American people. You know how much money they've raised from this audit? Over $10 million.
I try and tell people the audit is paramount. Once the audit is done and truth will come to light, we can make those corrections and make sure it never happens again.
So what are your thoughts on the election then? Do you think that Trump won?
No. Do I think there was fraud? Yes.
Okay.
But not enough to overturn the election. But I'm not going to broadcast that everywhere. We need guys that are going to, or girls, to implement policies and bills that are going to make America stronger. Continue what Trump started.
Like it doesn't matter what your policies are, they just care about that?
Yep. That's everybody. Do you really think people care about policies? Now, what I say in my own campaign is different. Granted, I don't want to seem arrogant. That's why I listen to what my counsel tells me. That's when they say go get an endorsement from somebody, I say, all right, cool. More than likely, you know.
Okay. All right, well, shout out to that brother, man. Shout out to that brother. But he's probably just upset. Somebody probably did him dirty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He didn't get his little butter biscuit. So now, he's a little bitter. He didn't get his butter, so now he bitter. What's going on, Mama Love?
Hey, Mama.
I see you in the chat. That's funny.
I thought the part though that got me though, he's like, you really think they care about policies? They don't care about policies. Well, that's definitely true when it comes to Black people, because when it comes to writing in policies specifically for us, all of a sudden we can't do that. We got to do more research. We got to put a committee together. It's all this, BS that they give to us when it comes to specific tangible policies for Black Americans, but they can get policies and stuff together for everybody else.
Yeah, they start talking in circles and wasting time. Wasting time. Now, what is this Josh Duggar story about? I didn't get to look into it. I seen you were sending me stuff about the Josh Duggar, and then something happened with his sister got arrested.
So him and his family, they have a reality show. It's like 19 and counting, something like that. So their parents had 19 children, basically. When the show first came out, they were all pretty little, I guess, or kids. Now they're growing up, and a bunch of them now are getting married and having a bunch of kids too at this point. So it came out, his sisters came out and I believe the cousin, or maybe just the sisters, but that he molested them, Now it's also coming out, he just got convicted of having child porn, so this is clearly some type of, pedo freak or whatever. My thing is, you get convicted of possessing child porn, but what about being convicted for touching your sisters? Like, why didn't the parents or something, turn him in for that? Or was it the statutes of limitations? I'm not sure, but I just find it ironic that he gets convicted for possessing child porn, but his sisters have also accused him of molesting them.
And
And
there's
nothing is
no
being said about that. Now the sister also, so it just comes out, I think yesterday when I saw it, his sister has been accused of some type of child neglect or endangerment. So it's something with his family with children and abusing the abuse of children.
Well, you know, it's obviously it's a lot of that goes around in their culture, in their society, just in general. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that's not to say it doesn't happen in Black society like that, but
Right.
it's not something that's acceptable openly. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
That's not something that's acceptable openly. Like we're not going to sit around and protect no pedophiles, no child molesters, and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, those niggas become targets. You know what I'm saying? In the streets, in jails, in prison, those niggas become targets. Like,
Even in prison, you cannot walk around freely as a pedo. You literally there's a section for them. They can't put them in population because of the crime they commit. So absolutely not acceptable.
Exactly. But yeah, speaking about that too, they wrapped up that Ghislaine Maxwell trial with the quickness.
Wait, it's wrapped up?
It's wrapped up.
Wait, so it's going to the jury or?
Yeah, I guess that's a deliberation. Let me see. I didn't get the latest. Well, it's at the weekend now, so I don't think they came back with a verdict yet. But yeah, they wrapped that thing up quick. And I'm talking about like when you look at the articles, man, the details are sparse. Like,
right.
They're not really going in like what you would think. You know what I'm saying? This was a whole international pedophile ring that was taking place. Right. You know, they were talking about how a lot of the names from the flight logs were redacted, meaning blacked out, meaning black, like almost every single name on the flight log was blacked out. They were making an issue about that. And it was just like 4 accusers that testified. And they were mostly talking about massages. I think one of them might have said they had sex and shit like that, but there was a lot of focus on massages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they weren't naming none of the other people who were there. You know, she's on trial supposedly for, you know, being part of this pedophile ring and grooming girls to be sex slaves and all of this stuff. Children, by the way. You know what I mean? Underage girls, grooming them to be, you know, sex slaves for Jeffrey Epstein and his pals.
Right.
And so from the way that this trial was covered by the media, it's like they're not telling us nothing. I seen one of I think it was her brother. Was it her brother? Somebody in Ghislaine Maxwell's family said that Ghislaine believes Jeffrey Epstein was murdered, that it wasn't a suicide, that Epstein was murdered.
None of us believe that he committed suicide.
Right. Right. So yeah, man, it's a lot of that stuff going around, and it's looking like she might even get off.
I was thinking the same thing because someone sent me something yesterday, and it looks as if, or currently, James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor. Like, you know, he was part of the Trump situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these ties within this trial is just not making sense. You would think that she would have been scratched from it because of the situation with her father. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of conflict of interest or something like that. So the same James Comey, by the way, that was charged by the FBI, you know, under Trump, under the Trump situation, his daughter is the prosecutor on this situation.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing is a big conflict of interest because this thing goes too high up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why all those names are redacted. You know what I'm saying? This thing goes too high up. If they really was to prosecute this thing properly, then too many dominoes would start falling. Too many dominoes will start falling, and the damn judge sitting on the bench might even be one of the dominoes. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why they have this system set up in the first place, to protect themselves, to shield themselves, so they could be impervious to any type of prosecution. If I'm using that word correctly. I don't know. I just freestyled that one right there.
It's just, it's crazy. It's not surprising. None of this stuff ever surprises me anymore. But it's just mind-boggling how white supremacists will go, and the strings that they will pull and the heels they will climb to protect each other, even good, bad, indifferent. Good, bad, indifferent. They will not throw each other under the bus, even when children are involved. That is something, I'm sorry, we're going to have to learn from. Again, not to say that we're not supposed to allow that in our community, but they punish Epstein on their terms.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? We need a punishment mechanism within our community like they do. So that way, Negroes won't be out here running them up. You know what I'm saying? Because they will fear what's they will be scared of what's going to happen to them in a community. Because look what's going on. Look at this Kyle thing. He was just out on a lunch with the prosecutor.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, the reason why, like you say, it's so mind-boggling at this point to a lot of people is because now they're in such a state of desperation that they're doing a lot of these things openly and very sloppily. You know what I'm saying? Whereas we've heard about these things for years and never really had no hard, concrete evidence where you could just point and say, look at this right here. You know what I'm saying? But now, you got video evidence, you know what I'm saying? You got documented evidence, like, of all of these things. We seeing it happen right in front of our faces, and they being blatant with it. Like, yeah, this how we gonna get down. This how we getting down. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're trying to hide it.
Exactly.
Because my thing is, why would you go into a public place? Y'all live in mansions with chefs. Cook this food something. If you didn't want that to be seen, it wouldn't have been seen. So it makes, they're letting they're planting certain, seeds and letting us know before, whatever's going to happen presents itself, because they're obviously working on something. They start leaving little clues, right? And this to me is just another clue.
Yep. And sending signals to each other. Mm-hmm. Right. And so for those that don't know, we kind of brushed over that. For those that don't know what we're talking about, Kyle Rittenhouse recently was just seen out having lunch with Alan Wilson, who is South Carolina's top prosecutor. South Carolina's top prosecutor, Alan Wilson, was just out eating lunch with Kyle Rittenhouse at a restaurant called Maurice's in South Carolina. Right. And Kyle Rittenhouse was in Illinois somewhere, right?
Right.
So they flying this kid all around the country, lining and dining with him, buying him suits, grooming him, getting him ready to run some type of office somewhere down the line, to be in a position of power somewhere down the line. He earned his stripes, and so now he's getting his rewards. Is he the Attorney General? Let me see. South Carolina's top prosecutor, Alan Wilson, reportedly met Thursday with Kyle Rittenhouse. In November, was acquitted on shooting 3 men, killing 2 of them. So they refer to him as top prosecutor. I don't know if that makes him Attorney General or not, Star. But yeah, like you said, they're not, haphazardly doing these things out in the open. Yeah. They're just being brazen about it in order to make sure that they're sending the right messages to, other potential cows across the country. Like, we got you.
Protect you. Yeah, we got you. But next time, make sure instead of shooting, 3 of your own, get 3 niggas. Or as a matter of fact, make it 6, double it.
Facts. Similar things happened with Zimmerman, correct?
Yeah. He was out there finding Skittles and shit. What got me, about Zimmerman too, is he was walking around freely out there in Florida for a minute. No security or nothing. You had several people, saying, "Oh, I, seen Zimmerman out here and out there." Now it was a white dude who walked up on him though and did something to him, and he got sentenced to some time. But you
Yeah.
have some brothers out there seeing them, and doing stuff for clout, putting it on their phone. I seen Zimmerman, nigga, what you gonna do? You seen them in what? Because you had Negroes like Trick Daddy basically telling what Negroes that can and cannot come to Miami.
Right.
Remember that? Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, bro, I need that energy directed somewhere else. And
Right.
again, even if you have beef with another, dude, you take that beef off social media. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to link up with some people and have a conversation, but we quick to want to try to take off heads when it comes to each other. And I'm gonna need that part to stop. Like all that extra social media blasting and stuff like that. We're gonna have to get back to conversations. And yeah, sometimes you may have to put your hands on somebody. That's okay. But if we can, talk about it, I'm open to that, because we need to get to the bottom of why we feel this way, you know what I'm saying, and how we can redirect these energies. And that doesn't mean that we're going to get along. We got to be cool, got to be in the same spaces. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to see you dead unless you touch my child or something like that. But you know what I'm saying?
All right. All these check-in policies and all of that shit when it comes to your own folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you ain't safe out here. And, you know what I mean? It's on site when it comes to the next nigga.
Right.
But these type of dudes, you ain't got none of that smoke.
No smoke at all. It even, with the disrespecting of the culture, it rarely gets checked. Even if we want to go to Vlad, you know what I'm saying? It really took Lord Jamal, to step up after the thing with Farrakhan. What was his name? 5'9"? What's his name? I'm sorry.
6'9"?
Is it 6'9" or 5'9"?
Oh, Tekashi?
No, the black guy. He's in the industry too. And I believe he's part of the Nation of Islam, or at least respected. It was Lord Jamal, it was him, and also
you had
Godfrey.
Cam, Godfrey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh,
you talking about Royce? Oh, you talking about Royce the 5'9"?
There you go.
Royce the 5'9". Yeah, Royce the 5'9".
Royce the 5'9". My apologies, brother, for messing up your name. But yeah, they stepped up, to check them, and then we still see, Negroes still going on Vlad, like cannot get on code for nothing.
Yo, I swear, man. I swear. And it's a lot of legends.
Mm-hmm.
Like I seen recently Raekwon went up there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see the interview, but I seen the thumbnail. Right. Raekwon the chef is up there on Vlad. Boosie stayed going up there on Vlad. And it's like, is y'all niggas really this desperate? Like, nigga, you Raekwon the chef.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Vlad, my nigga. Who's more important? You or Vlad? Right. You can't set up some cameras at your crib somewhere and create a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? And say whatever it is that you gotta say. What you need Vlad for?
There's other people with larger platforms than Vlad. You don't get no clout at this point from Vlad. He gives nothing. He brings nothing to your table.
It's a bad look.
Energy to these other people.
It's a bad look. It's a bad look at this point. It's a very bad look at this point. It shows that, you either out of touch, with what's going on out here for real, or you just off cold. Like, you one of the niggas that don't give a fuck. Like, you want to be an individual. You don't want to play as a team. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so either way, it's just a bad look, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think that they're out of touch. I don't, because there's been too much going on, within social media spaces, blogs, everything in reference to Vlad, his disrespect of the culture, his disrespecting of our elder, our teacher, someone that we hold sacred to us. You don't get to do that and then come up in black spaces with the yo, yo, yo and think that it's still cool, or because you have a black wife. That means nothing to us. You do not get to openly disrespect anyone in our culture. And my thing is, even if you messed up, he refused to apologize publicly. So it's like he's standing on his square with the disrespect, and y'all still showing up. And then in the same breath, you'll say that you love Farrakhan and you rock with Farrakhan, and no.
Shit is whack, man. Shit is whack. Y'all niggas look whack going up there to Vlad at this point, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like them little rappers, that mumble mouth rappers and shit that be going up there. I don't pay them no mind. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas, I don't pay them niggas no mind. But some of y'all legends in the game, man.
Yeah, you don't even know
that shit is not a good look, man. You know, my son was watching some shit on Vlad with one of the bodyguards, one of Biggie bodyguards. I forgot his name, but he's been putting out his own videos for years, for a long time. I think he got a whole documentary where he's trying to expose what really happened that night. And I think his thing is he implements Diddy, or he blames Diddy for a lot of what happened. But I guess being that his shit wasn't getting the traction that he wanted to get, now he going up to Vlad. And I'm like, man. And I seen recently the clip with what's his name, man? Damn, what's his name, man? Former NBA player. I think it was an old interview, but for some reason that little clip went viral recently where Vlad said something about Dr. Sebi.
Oh yeah. Oh, Shannon. It says not Shannon. It's not Shannon. I can't think of it, but I'm gonna. But
he do got one of those unisex names, whatever his name is. I can't think of his name.
I'm about to find it though.
But yeah, Vlad said, I never. What he says, something about I never liked that about Dr. Sebi or something. And damn, I can't think of his name.
I can't either, and I'm looking for it right now. But he basically told me it wasn't for you.
He said it wasn't for you. He wasn't talking to you. He wasn't talking to you. John Sally. Thank you, Peter Ogun. John Sally. It was John Sally. And wasn't that an older interview though? Or did he go up there recently?
I think that was an older interview, but people were just, recirculating it because again, it wasn't for you. And I think that's just a message, for, these folks in period. Everything that we have going on, sometimes we're just talking to each other. It's not all inclusive. You know what I'm saying? Stop inserting yourself where you don't belong.
Shit ain't got nothing to do with you, nigga. Fall back.
Nothing. All the way.
Said Dr. Sebi wasn't talking to his white ass.
Right. Facts. He just wasn't. And the way he said was respectful, but he wasn't talking to you. And he was like, me? I mean,
he said, why? He said, well, why? Because I don't have melanin in my skin. Yeah, that's exactly why. That's why.
All his food, everything that he came up with was for melanated people.
Exactly.
So why are you concerned?
Exactly. If you don't believe him, okay. You don't believe him, nigga. Don't eat alkaline. You know what I'm saying? Don't take herbs, okay? You know what I mean? You get you catch that house in Virginia, go on and live with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I was so happy that he said he was just like so voice didn't have to raise. He was just a matter of fact with it.
Not emotional.
Not emotional. Just one for you. Now mind your business.
Right. All right. Yeah, we segued over to the Vlad thing because I did want to talk about that Vlad thing, man. There was something else. There was something else that happened on Vlad recently too that I wanted to mention. But it's just like we saying, man. Overall, it's just not a good look. Y'all niggas going up there talking to Vlad, especially a lot of y'all niggas who be talking street business. A lot of y'all niggas going up there indicting yourselves on Vlad still. After we already know his interviews have been used in prosecutions multiple times to get people indicted and charged. Multiple times they've used Vlad interviews in these courtrooms. And y'all niggas are still going up there running your mouth. And the way that he asks questions, the niggas sound like a cop, like a detective.
I've seen it before on First 48. I've definitely seen that interview style on First 48. For real.
Because he'll be like, okay, hold on, slow down. So now you say you turned left, and which way did your boy go?
Right.
Like, why we need to know all that for? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Boy,
man.
but it's something about, you know, showing all 32 teeth in front of white folks that Negroes get a kick out of. All these large platforms, all these people that are building, and you refuse to go on these platforms, you got to go over here. And it's only a matter of time because he gets very disrespectful too. You know, with some of the shade, you know, and
Oh
stuff like,
yeah.
nigga, you've made millions off us. It ain't the other way around.
Right. Right. And like you said, man, it's other platforms. There's so many people in new black media who actually do good interviews.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's not going to have you out here getting yourself indicted. You know what I'm saying? Number one, who's going to be asking the right type of questions, you know, getting the important things on the table to really leave your mark and, you know, solidify your legacy out here. You know what I'm saying? That's not what Vlad is here for. Vlad is here for sensationalism,
Right.
to get clicks and views for his channel.
Right. And fatten his pockets. And my thing is, who was it? Someone said that, you know, I guess before he lent them some money and stuff like that. Okay.
I
You
think
know,
that was
thank
my
you.
song.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? You know, but that has nothing to do with, you don't have to be loyal to someone that's still not loyal to you. That person gave you, lent you some money, and I get that. And if you paid it back, great. If he told you you didn't have to, great. But once he get to a point where he's disrespecting your people and your culture, all bets are off. I don't give a what he gave you in the past.
Does,
Thank you.
does,
Now we move past that.
does Lunel still be going up there too,
You
Star?
know what? I don't look at his stuff because I refuse to give him a click. To be
Yeah, I'm
honest.
blocked. I'm
Yeah.
blocked on Twitter. I don't see none of that stuff. Um, you know, he does get a lot of views, so he will pop up in my YouTube feed. You know, but like I said, I haven't been watching it at all ever since Lord Jamal and them divested.
Right.
So did I.
And I was so happy that they did. They did that. You know, that was a good look. You know, that showed us unified and, you know, and focused on no, you're not. And even Godfrey, he's like, I go on there all the time. Every time he was cool. But when you do this, I have to draw the line. You know what I'm saying? How is that going to make me look with my people? Because at the end of the day, these are my people. You not, they are. So I'm going to align with my people because when I'm packing out these shows and selling tickets, it's really my people out here supporting me too, not you.
Nah, Star Godfrey don't go up there no more.
No, Godfrey don't go up there no more. Mm-mm.
Godfrey don't go up there no more. So
No.
that might be some old stuff that you're
Oh.
seeing that's still circulating because those were some of his highest viewed
Mm-hmm.
interviews was with Vlad. I mean, was with
Yeah.
Lord Jamal,
Mm-hmm.
Godfrey. Who else used to go up there a lot? That was getting him a lot of clicks.
Right now it's Boosie because Boosie
Yeah,
go all the time.
yeah. Boosie's his guy. Left us the blueprint. 1804 Revo left us the blueprint. Before we can conquer, we must single out the minions. That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact. They got rid of the coons first.
Right.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that that's where this, you know,
Oh yeah.
grassroots. Go ahead.
And that's what I wanted to mention too. Boosie, he said Boosie must be on the slow bus.
That's what I was
That's a
laughing at.
that's a fact too, because that's the clip I was trying to think of. Boosie was up there recently, and Vlad was talking about the Colin Kaepernick Netflix special, right? And he was talking about. I still haven't watched it, but I know he was showing how the NFL draft is basically like a slave auction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so he was talking about that, and he was like, you know, come on, man, that's ridiculous, man. I don't see the comparison there. You know, Vlad, you know, I don't see the comparison there. What do you think, Boosie? And Boosie was like, no, man. Slave wasn't getting paid no $30 million. Slave wasn't getting paid no $30 million. There ain't no slavery and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God damn. God
And that's
damn.
exactly the soundbite he was looking for. That's exactly the soundbite this fool was looking for. Your ass to get up on here and say some dumb shit like that.
Was it good? Should I watch it? I don't
It
know.
was good.
Spirit has not moved me to watch it at all.
I thought it was good. It was very informative. As far as him linking how, they basically get into your mind, your body, like they literally know everything about you, your family. Like they have doctors checking you out like constantly. Honestly, what's his name? We were talking about him last week, I believe. Lord Kwame said the same thing, basically.
Mhm.
They know everything about you and they have their doctors and stuff like filling you up. Before they draft you and invest that money in you, they know all about that. I thought that Colin's story on that Netflix special was good to me.
Well,
But it also, I felt like it displayed his adoptive parents kind of racist, because when he was getting in touch with his blackness, what I'm saying, they were calling his hair ghetto. They was allowing um, these coaches to tell him he needed to cut his hair because he was deciding to wear cornrows and stuff like that. They were he started liking black girls. Well, why don't you go and date Samantha? The Harris's daughter, she's a good girl. They didn't want him with a black girl. And it also, like, to me, it's like you're showing this part and how much you love black women, yet you're not with a black woman still. So it's like a double-edged sword. I was like, huh?
she looked
Like, why
black
are
to
you
me.
talking about this? But then you don't even mess with us either.
She looked black to me.
But she's not. She's I want to say Egyptian and something else maybe. But yeah, she doesn't identify as a black. Middle Eastern?
She doesn't identify as black.
No.
Hmm. I thought she was black. I thought she might have been Latina or something, but a black one.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Nope. And then his love interest on the documentary was a chocolate girl. Beautiful. Which I appreciated. I'm glad that he kind of, got someone with deeper melanin, but it's almost still like you love black women so much that you still ain't with one a day.
Mm.
Yeah, he's dated black women. A lot of them slave masters dated them too in them slave quarters.
Shit. Proud Boys date black women.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't there like two that we can that were married to black women that
More
I
than
think
that. More than
and
that.
had
It's kind
children?
of common. It's kind of
Yeah.
common. You know what I mean? But the thing, because mostly I heard everybody talking about that part on the Colin Kaepernick special with him showing the comparison between the NFL draft and the slave auctions and all of that. And they did that on like Hidden Colors 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of old. You know what I'm saying? For me. You know what I'm saying? And I got the $40 million slave book around here somewhere too. I had my son read that a couple years ago. $40 million slave. Definitely check that out if y'all haven't had a chance to read that book. But some people do get confused about that. Like, well, they making all that money. How you gonna say, it's like slavery? But it's like, why is it that black people don't own none of the teams?
Right.
Why is it that black people don't own none of the stadiums? Why is it
Right.
that black people is not owning and controlling none of the corporations who are the sponsors? You know what I mean?
No black coaches, no black
Barely.
quarterbacks.
They just
Barely
now
any
getting black
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a modern day plantation, especially when you look at the college football, not just football, but sports, that black people play the most. Football, basketball. Now they starting to change the rules in college a little bit where people could get paid for their likeness and all that. But look how long we've been making noise about that.
Right.
I saw an article that Dr. Boyce wrote in 1996 about that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? An article from 1996. And they just now saying, all right, we're going to let y'all get some endorsement deals, and that's really only going to be beneficial to the stars, the superstar athletes, the ones that stand out. You know what I'm saying?
And not just that though. It's like, yeah, and a lot of these contracts are not guaranteed either. right? So you can sign a $200 million contract. Only a portion of that is guaranteed. Then you got to think, okay, well, what if I get injured, right? I'm not going to make a certain amount, or I'm not going to get my full contract that I signed. So it's so much politics with that. You have a person like Colin who kneeled respectfully and got blackballed. You know, that's a form of slavery too, because he couldn't speak up for a certain group when you had that other player who was, you know, going down with praying hands. I can't think of his name, but the white player, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't getting ridiculed, you know, for kneeling and praying, you know, the way that he decided to do it, you know, during, I don't know if it was doing the anthem or whatever, but he still didn't get ridiculed for it nonetheless. So, you know, you have these, a lot of them are leaving the NFL, NBA broke. Oh, there. I thought I lost you guys. They're getting out of the NBA and the NFL broke too. I'm frozen.
Okay, you back now.
Okay. No, I actually hit a button. I hit the wrong button and lost you guys. But a lot of these guys are not even rich when they leave these teams. They have nothing. So, you know, and that comes from, obviously, they're not teaching them about money management and business. Or you have these, what do you call those people that get the contracts for them, stealing from them?
Agents.
Yeah, there you go, the agents. The accountants.
That goes back to us too, though. You know what I'm saying? As parents and all of that. You know, stop trying to just treat your son like a damn lotto ticket or something. You know what I'm saying? Because they're good at football or they're good at basketball or whatever. Make sure you're giving them some goddamn game out here. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you know your son got the potential to make it to the pros. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like where the ball father, LeVar Ball, you know, I like how he reared them boys. And, you know, granted, they already had money. They was in a different situation. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they came from the hood or grew up poor or anything like that. Yeah. But still in all, that dad had sense. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me to another question that we talked about before too. Can you date outside your race and be pro-black? What you think about LeVar Ball?
You know, you understand my stance. We've talked about this already.
I'm saying we're not gonna have the whole conversation, but I'm just saying LeVar Ball specifically. Yes, LeVar Ball specifically. You know what I mean?
I think that for him, you know, his stance is these is his children. I don't necessarily think it's about blackness. I think these are my offspring, and I'm here to protect my offspring and make sure that they succeed. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the long and the short of it. I think he has some great things that he says. And I love his confidence. I love the confidence that he gives his kids. I love the fact that he speaks up for them so they can just play. They don't have to worry about answering certain questions. Daddy is going to make sure that, you know, whatever comes across is going to come from him. So they're not necessarily responsible for what he says because he's trained them to shut up. I got this part, you know, so I think for him, I don't know if it's code. I think that this is just what I'm doing for mine.
All right. It could be that, because like you said, but you know, I like LeVar, man.
I like him. I like
LeVar. I like LeVar. My man be talking that talk. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, LeVar.
And do something. And this is what I'm explaining to my boys. It's like if we individuals, if Lonzo over here, Melo over here, Jello over here, we millionaires. We're gonna be millionaires. Wesley Snipes, Denzel Washington, Magic, all them by themselves, they millionaires. Now the Waltons who own Walmart, that's a family.
And all of them billionaires.
The Hunts who own ketchup and all that, Campbell Soup, family. Spielberg's family. Mark Cuban and them, family. Balls together, family. We'll be billionaires.
Sure, you gotta create a brand.
But nobody understands that. And growing up, we taught as black folks to be that one Mike Tyson, that one Michael Jordan, Everybody taught to be by themselves.
Got a team.
But everybody else. I'll give you a scenario, man. I got some folks doing some work on my house, man, and they're doing the construction and all that. They building some stuff for me. They're all Hispanic, brother, brother-in-law, sister, all the people that do something. And this is what I'm explaining to my boys.
So he understands the racial aspect of it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say he stomped down pro-black, you know what I'm saying? But he definitely understands the racial aspect of it, and he speaks on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Very bluntly. You know what I mean? I think that's what I like about him. Because a lot of people just scared to say it plain, just like that. Like, you know, he's not saying nothing hateful towards anyone.
Nope.
He's just pointing out the obvious. You know what I'm saying?
They don't like that either. That's why they don't like him, because he points out the the obvious. They don't like that. They want to make sure that it's, covert, the things that they're doing.
And like that should be a signal to a lot of these other rich athletes and entertainers and all of that. You see this man as an example. Maybe you didn't never think about it like that. Maybe you never thought about it like that. Maybe nobody never, pulled your coat and broke it down to you like that. But when y'all see LeVar out here talking that talk, why do y'all allow the media to put a negative stink on it? You know what I'm saying? And make you, and then you see him through their lens. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear a lot of Negroes repeating the same shit that the white media be saying, and not just the Stephen A's, but a lot of these niggas like, he doing too much. He need to fall back and let his boys. Like, yo, you're not hearing what this man is saying.
I was hearing that, especially when he came up with the big baller brand. I remember, everybody was trying to, support and get some things. And I remember, obviously, it's a new brand, right? And it was what's his name? Shoot, from Cali, the Game. He goes to social media, N-word, I ordered my shoes and I ain't got them yet. I didn't want to say nothing, but nigga, when I'm getting my shoes, like, you can call him, you can send him a text. I know that you have ways to get through to him versus going on here on social media and making a big old stink about it, considering he's a new brand, probably still within the manufacturing process, of everything, but he did, do it like pre-sale, whatever. And he takes to social media basically to shame him. Now, I know you ain't do Nike like that if a shipment was delayed. You didn't call the head of FedEx when your shipment was delayed.
You didn't go into it with the correct mindset in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Right. It wasn't about shopping with your brother before you shop with another. It wasn't about, circulating money in the black community. That wasn't your intentions. You wanted to be one of the niggas who had the clout to say, okay, I got these shoes before they blew up or something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You went into it with the wrong mindset in the first place, because I hate when niggas do shit like that. Like I seen a clip not too long ago where Ed Lover, he was at a restaurant down here in Atlanta, and the restaurant was very busy. You know what I'm saying? And I guess they was taking a long time to get his food to him or whatever. And this nigga went live and put the restaurant on blast. I'm talking about, I would never come here again, and this, that, and the third. Black old restaurant. You try to spend money with your people, and this the type of service that you get, and blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, Ed Lover, that's not a good look, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you had to stay there and put up with bad service, but you could have just left and went somewhere else to eat. You ain't have to use your platform to put a black business on blast like that. Like, we don't have enough troubles already, trying to keep our shit afloat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he could have went and talked to the manager behind the scenes. Yo, I don't mean to, make a stink, but look, I've been waiting. I know y'all
offer some solutions.
Yeah.
Offer some solutions. Y'all look like y'all need some help over here. Look, maybe y'all should try this, that. You know what I'm saying? But, this ain't going to work, because, again, we do expect to have the same level of service. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's black owned don't mean it's going to be janky and all of that. What's up, kid? Hold on a second. What you got?
Jeez.
Oh, it finally came out. My son lost his tooth. Come here, Seven. Let me see. It finally came out. Hold on, let me unplug these headphones so you can hear. Let
I
me see.
still
Say
have both
something.
my kids' teeth, you guys,
I can't
that they've
believe I
lost
lost my teeth.
in Ziplocs.
Finally. Let me see. Did it hurt?
No,
How'd it come out? Was you eating something?
no. Mom just pulled it out.
Oh, she pulled it out. You got a little bit. You got a little bit of blood in there. You gotta go rinse your mouth out.
I already rinsed it.
How you doing? Say peace. Say peace to the family, man.
Hey guys.
Hey,
It's about to be. It's time for bed now, Sean. Go get ready for school. I'll see you in the morning. Okay. Peace.
it's like we expect. I think that a part of our problem is when we go to a black restaurant or just a black business, when we support a black business, period, our expectations sometimes be on 1,000 to begin with. And it's almost as if sometimes black people feel like black people are supposed to bow down or mistakes are not going to happen in an establishment or with a business. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of things on social media that happens with a lot of these big brands, but you haven't counseled them. You continue to support them. You know, we can go as far as your local liquor store that's Asian owned. We can go as far as the nail shop who disrespects you. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, years ago, not to get off topic, y'all, but I went to get my nails done at a local nail shop. This is probably like 5 years ago. It was New Year's Eve. I went after work. Surprisingly, it wasn't a bunch of people in the nail shop. So I was like, oh, let me go in here, get my pedicure and stuff done. So I sit down and he was like, so where you going tonight? I know you're gonna go shake that ass. Why are you talking? Who are you talking about? Yes. And I was like, why are you talking like that? And he was like, y'all, it got even worse. Ah, bitch.
Well.
And trying to, this is a male tech, but he's trying to, I guess, sound like a ghetto black girl. Ah, bitch, I know you're gonna turn up, but with their accent and stuff like that. Like I was like, I cannot give you my money ever again. Don't you ever disrespect me like that. Like that is rude. What every black person does not tolerate that type of energy and behavior. And I'm spending my money. You don't do that. I had to check that shit and get up. Ain't been back.
The problem is you got too many Negroes who they look for that type of they look at that as like some type of acceptance. Like, this person is down. This person is down because they acting ghetto. That means they down.
You know
what I'm saying?
He has tattoos everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's how they, connect with their base or whatever. But I had to shut that down. And it was other people you can tell, like it took a minute for me to check it right away. Like, I was just like in my head, like I have to say something. Now you got the other chicks, black, in there laughing and kiki, and I'm just like, hell no. Like, this is not okay. Y'all shouldn't accept it either. It's disrespectful. If you came up in there, pulled your eyes back, and start talking like them, then they're going to say that you're disrespectful, and all of a sudden you got an anti-Asian hate crime bill. But then they can come around here and do this shit to you and then take your money? Not me. I ain't been back.
Yeah, man. That shit is deep.
But black people still line up at this establishment, and I doubt that he's changed that behavior. There's several people spending their money in there. He's able to call her a bitch. Hey, bitch. And you give this person your money? Now, if you go into a black-owned establishment and the host of the restaurant's like, okay, where you bitches want to sit? All of a sudden, y'all ready to turn up.
Exactly. Y'all gonna be going on. Y'all gonna be going on Yelp and Yahoo and all type of shit, leaving all type of fucked up reviews and going live on social media. Yeah, right. So that goes back to mindset. It goes back to mindset, man.
And
you know what I'm saying? Because that level wouldn't have did that at no white establishment.
Hell no.
If they was taking long, they just took long. He just sat his ass there and waited, or he just left and went somewhere else.
He would have been like, they're busy. Look at all these people here, y'all. He's probably gonna dip, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He would have gave them the excuse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We can't get no grace, though.
No.
Man. And that's the thing, man. This shit was busy, dude. Like, you know, they short on staff. There's a lot of customers in there. Obviously, the food is good. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Fuck
You
shit
don't
like
know if
that.
some of the
I don't
waitresses
like.
called out that day. They don't know why it's so busy. Did one of the cooks call out, which is delaying, you know, some of the food? Like all type of factors can happen, you know, when things are delayed, right? You don't know that. Now you have the right, like you said, to you know what you know it's taking a little long. We're gonna go ahead. You can give this table to somebody else. We're gonna go ahead and check out. Ask again. Excuse me. Do you know about how long it's gonna be? You know, so you know if it's worth you waiting or not. And that person, that waitress or host will give you an explanation. I'm sorry, you know what? Someone called out. We're a little behind, you know, on staff, but we'll be right with you and I apologize for the wait. Easy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Don't take all that bullshit. But you know what I want to talk about? We had a lot of topics. We're not going to get to all of them. Obviously, we're not going to get to all of them. But you know what I want to talk about? Hold on, let me share the screen again. I want to talk about this situation, and I don't know what city this was in. But the brother went and murdered his baby mother,
Baltimore.
his ex-wife. That was in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah. His brother fatally shot his ex-girlfriend and then went to his ex-wife's apartment and killed her as well before turning the gun on himself. Do I got the screen up there?
No.
Okay. Screen up there. This is a tragic situation, but I definitely want to talk about it. I want to get y'all opinions on this, everybody. Let me see. Hold on. Man, this video is kind of hard to watch too. It's not graphic or anything. It's not graphic or anything, but just man. All right, here you go.
I would be doing this, but I gotta make it quick. For everybody out there that supported me and really knows what's going on, thank you. I've been going through a custody battle. I've been going through having my ex-wife say I molested my children and all kinds of craziness. Been fighting for custody for 3 years. So, you know, shit has been real crazy. What's up, Oliver? You know about this. Going through it with my ex-wife, blah, blah, blah. So, dating somebody new, and she got pregnant. And, we got in a fight. First thing she does is threatening that she's going to do the same thing. You're never going to see your kids, blah, blah, blah. It's the holidays, man. I don't have no family, nothing. Anyway, I just did something crazy, man. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. Felt like a dream. Like, I never thought I would be that guy. I can't go to prison. So the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. So she next, and then I'm going to do myself too. But I just wanted to say this to people. Don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. Oh, here's my ex-wife right here. Today's the day.
Man.
That just.
Man.
By the way, his name is Raji Sharif Black. His ex-wife name is Wendy Natalie Black. They have yet to release the ex-girlfriend's name. He is this happened in South Baltimore. Then he traveled to Columbia, wherever that is, which is where he killed his ex-wife. So South Baltimore is where he killed the ex-girlfriend, and then he drove to Columbia and killed his ex-wife.
Columbia, probably South Carolina.
Yeah.
Probably South Carolina. I don't know. They got Columbias in different states.
Yeah.
I ain't sure.
Couldn't
But
be too far though, because he did it all. It seems like in the same day.
man. So yeah, again, that's a tragic story. But man, what's your opinions on that, man? Because I know a lot of dudes in situations like that. I've dealt with similar situations myself. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with just struggles with being able to just be a father, man. You know what I'm saying? Having to fight and jump through hoops and go through all type of nonsense just to be a part of my kid's life. And I'll admit to y'all, man, I don't even think I ever shared this with nobody, but I'll admit this to the family on air. I've had those type of fantasies in my mind. I've been to that point where I've visualized this shit in my head. Like, yo, you know what? You know what? You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, there's a whole system in place that allows women to do this shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like if I wasn't as mentally strong of a person as I am, if I haven't been through all of the shit that I've been through in my life, before I even had kids, you know what I'm saying? I spent most of my teens and my 20s in prison, for those of y'all that don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so I had already been through a lot of shit in my life that kind of built me up and made me strong. Like I had a lot of time to reflect on myself and work on myself and kind of do a lot of self-therapy, even through my writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause a lot of my songs, early on were more autobiographical. And so even that was a form of therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like if I wasn't the person that I am, I could have very well been this dude. You know what I'm saying? And I got homies who I had to talk off the ledge that was in similar predicaments. You know what I'm saying? Who was ready to just end everything because of situations like that. What's going on, Queen Creek? You know what I mean? So I can't really justify and condone what he did because it is a form of weakness. You got to be stronger than that. And you got to understand too that even though it's the women that are taking advantage of the situation, that's still the fruit and not the root. You know what I'm saying? The root of the problem is really systematic. If there was no system in place for them to take advantage of, then they wouldn't be able, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have that leeway. So if you're going to go out, if you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you on your last leg and you're going to go out with a bang, take one of them judges with you.
Right.
If you really want to send a message, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure, if he's a dude like me, before it got to this point, he probably went through all the proper channels, probably already been through court. And, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Probably tried to do everything the right way before it got to this point. And so if you're going to go out, take one of them judges with you, man. Send a real message that something has to be done systematically, because this ain't solving the problem. Now your kids got to grow up with no mother, no father.
Yeah. And not just that, living with the fact that their father, whom they may love, murdered their mom, So now you have damaged them, to the core. They're going to have a lifelong therapy. Hopefully, the mother's family is a strong family that can get those children, the help that they need. As far as the ex-girlfriend, he mentioned that she was pregnant, which means that he killed her and the baby in utero, I'm assuming, right? Because he mentioned her being pregnant, not that they have a kid.
Yeah, I wasn't really clear about that because, he said she got pregnant, got with a new girl, she got pregnant and they got into a fight and she said he was never going to see the baby. So I don't know if she was still pregnant or already had the baby or what, but man, yo, like, don't stop playing with niggas with their kids, man. Stop playing with niggas with their kids, man.
I've seen it and I've, argued with friends. Let me tell you about me though. I've always been the exact opposite. When my daughter's dad and I broke up, I got married very young. And so when we, broke up, it was outside sources that was telling me what he was doing. Oh, he's dating this girl, blah, blah, blah. And she has a daughter, and they're going here, they're going there. Oh, are they? I would pack Jasmine up with her bag, knock on the door, I'll run and get back in my car, and he'll open up the door. If you going out and having family time, then my daughter going too. Like, what's
That's
going
toxic
on?
too. That's toxic too, beloved.
No,
That's
we gonna
toxic
be
too,
family.
beloved.
We gonna. You're not leaving my kid out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
You
feel
know
like
what?
if you trust this person, I can trust her with my child too. If you can trust her.
What I was gonna say, I wish I had a baby moms like that.
Oh, I
You know
was
what I'm
not
saying?
that.
I wish that was my baby moms that try, because you got those that are like that. They'll push the kid on you. You know what I'm saying? And usually those the niggas that don't even want to step up to the plate, and they baby moms be trying to push the kid on them. And those niggas don't even want to step up to the plate. But it's usually the guy that really wants to be a man, that really wants to be a father and play his position. Those are usually the ones that end up with the baby moms that's on some bullshit, man.
Well, let me tell you, every time I got a call, they went to Chuck E. Cheese. Which one? I'm pulling up to Chuck E. Cheese. Jasmine wants to go too. Like, I was not playing that kind of mess at all. No.
Viewer one, God bless your soul. Viewer one, what's your Cash App, Viewer one? Put your Cash App in the chat, Viewer one. I love you for that. I absolutely love you for that. That's what I call real nigga shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, ladies, man. Y'all gotta stop this shit.
If they don't want to do it willingly, you know, which I would say with my daughter's dad, I don't feel like I needed the court system, you know, to do anything. We just kind of, you know, when you get divorced, you know, and again, I got married in my 20s, early 20s, actually at 20, by the way. Once we got divorced, you know, they established a child support order, but the whole time that we were separated, I never had to ask him for anything. I never went through that. You know, if you don't do this and that, I'm gonna have to, you know, it was just like he was already doing it. And then once our divorce was finalized by the judge established a set amount and he did that plus without me ever having to ask. So we never had issues like that because he always did what he was supposed to do and he wanted to be in his daughter's life.
Man, shout out to him, and you know, all the brothers like him.
I cut up for other stuff though.
I've never played with my children's father when it comes to seeing them. However, I have a BF that want to be crazy because I'm not on the extras with him. So the BF got to go.
Yeah, that's unnecessary drama.
Wait, hold on. Maybe, am I understanding that correctly? However, I have a BF that want to be crazy because I'm not on the extras with him. Okay, so you're saying your baby father want to act up because you don't want to give him none? Is that what that's about? Is that what you're saying? I thought you were saying you got a boyfriend that tries to get in the way of your baby father having a relationship with the kids. That's what I thought I read at first. I don't know exactly.
Oh, I see what she's saying. So as long as you have guys like this too, right? Where I'll do what I'm supposed to do as a father, although we're not together. You still got to lay with me, and that's the only way I'm going to step up and do anything for you. But once you cut off that, right, then I'm gonna start switching up on the kids too, and I'm not going to do what I've been doing unless I can lay with you. You know,
that's fuck shit.
I understand that.
That's fuck shit. Fuck shit. And the shit that's crazy with me, right? And I really don't be like to talk about this shit on here because it's probably gonna get me in more trouble. But whatever, it's real.
Yeah,
it's real. The shit that's crazy about that is, my oldest. I don't really use stepson. Like, that's my son. I got with his mother when he was 3 years old. But whatever. My stepson, his biological father was one of those type of dudes, and he ain't never went through none of that drama. He ain't never been dragged into court. He ain't never had to deal with all the shit that I've had to deal with, with the same woman. And I'm the exact opposite. Like, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. Like, I'm pulling up. I'm always there. Like, I'm on deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to be a weekend dad or none of that shit. Like, I want to be full time. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the voice that's inside their head. You know what I mean? Like I'm that guy, but I'm the one that dealt with all of the drama for years. Wow. Meanwhile, this dude, I never even met him before. You know what I mean? I raised his son since he was 3 years old. I never met his real father.
Wow. So is his father real father in his life, or has he ever been in?
No.
Oh.
No.
But it was still no smoke. She not looking for him to blow no smoke.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. That's my son. You know what I'm saying? He grown now, but that's still my son.
Right.
And we ain't been together since he was like 8, 9 years old.
It's crazy. And again, I just think it's, we all need therapy, just Black people in general. A lot of us did not grow up seeing healthy relationships. I can attest to that. I have never been in the house with my mom and my father, or my mom and a father figure, ever. So everything that I have learned, I've learned in trial and error, and made a lot of mistakes myself, because, I don't know, you get information from your peers, things that you see on TV, I unchecked emotions. I don't know how to deal with these emotions other than, screaming and yelling or something like that. So I just never seen it. So I never knew how to really act. I always knew though when I had kids that I wanted my kids to have what I didn't have, which was a father figure or a father in their life. So I made a conscious decision that no matter what we're going through, whether I'm mad at you, I can't stand the sight of you, I will never keep you from your kids. As long as you're not abusive to me, which I've never experienced abuse. I've been cheated on. My feelings have been hurt, stuff like that, but I've never experienced abuse. But I didn't even know how to deal with, being cheated on, or how to communicate properly when I was hurt. Communication has always been the thing that was lacking in my relationships, or the downfall, I would say, of the relationships, because I didn't know how to do that properly.
Yeah, and communication I think is the major problem just in Black society overall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the Black family structure, like communication is a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because we talk at each other a lot of times.
Yeah.
We treat each other like enemies. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're supposed to be, and a lot of times we're putting ourselves and our own feelings ahead of the needs of the child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a big fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Once you bring children into the world, once you bring children into the picture, it don't matter what you feeling. It don't matter what you're going through. You got to do what's right for those babies, man.
Period.
For those human beings, because they're not always going to be babies. That's another thing. We act like they're going to be babies forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? We bring in whole human beings into the world. They're going to have a whole life. And we got to be there for them throughout all of those different stages and phases that they go through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We have to watch how we communicate with each other in front of them, because again, they're going to mirror our actions in a lot of ways. So it's important that, when we're communicating with each other, that we're communicating the right way in front of our kids. Like I said, I've never, had that figure or, man, woman in the house growing up ever in life. So I didn't know what that looked like to begin with, so everything I learned, I just learned as I went in relationships.
Yeah. Likewise, man. Likewise. And again, I had a lot of practice, man. Seven is number 5 for me. So you know what I mean? A lot of people see 7. They see me or my wife with 7 now, and they like, oh man, they big us up. We great parents and all of that stuff. But I had a lot of practice, man. It was trial and error. You know what I'm saying? And thank God, what I'm saying, my other kids, they're coming along as well, in spite of, all of the drama that we had to go through and all of that stuff. Again, I'm a person, like I said, being that I went through a lot of stuff at an early age, I have an extraordinary amount of self-control. And so, again, things could have went totally left if I would have been trying to match her energy and meet her where she was at with it. You know what I'm saying? So just me being the man that I am, I was able to play past a lot of the bullshit and focus on the prize, you know what I'm saying? Which is those children. And so they great kids, man. They all coming along. just fine, man. I'm very proud of all of them. Shout out to my babies.
Me too. Mine came a long way. Like they didn't grow up in dysfunction, but I also feel like with my daughter, her father and I broke up when she was 5 or so, so she didn't have a long, extended, time in the house with both her mom and her dad. And it's a lot of stuff when we talk now, she'd be like, I don't even, when I'd be like, remember this? And she'd be like, I don't remember that. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like a part of it, I wish that she experienced it more. And the same thing for my son. You know what I'm saying? I wish he experienced it more. His father and I broke up when he was 4. So, but always been in his life, and the same for my daughter. Like they were present, just not us. I would say what was different, and with my daughter's dad and my son's dad, and my kids are 10 years apart, y'all. Is we would make a conscious decision with my son to do family stuff. So although we were broken up, we would still do Disneyland. We would still go to the movies as a family, or go to dinner or something like that as a family. Nothing, between us, but still try to give him a bit of normalcy, invite some of his friends, but we will all go out as a family. So we, made it a point to do stuff like that, just so he can have that, see us getting along, and all of us, chilling together.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. And we've tried to do the same thing too, man. Shout out to my baby moms, by the way. I ain't trying to paint no crazy picture of her or nothing, but we've had our issues. It's been a struggle. You know what I mean? Trying to figure this thing out on both ends. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if she was on here, she would have some shit to say about me as well. You know what I mean? But you know what else I wanted to ask you too, guys, family. So I only got one daughter, right? Out of the 5 of them, I only got one girl. She's 15 years old now.
Oh, I know what you're asking. I think I know.
Well, from the conversation that we had with what was our guest name the other day?
Camila.
Lovely guest that we had the other day. Camilla. Yeah, Camilla. We kind of touched on some things a little bit. We were talking about, her wanting to experiment with her hair color and different things like that. And I was just talking about how I'd be hesitant to let her do stuff like that because I just want her to be herself. And I know that, a lot of our kids are influenced by what they see on Instagram and, but this is kind of along the same realms. But as y'all know, I'm big on music, right? I'm a music head. You know what I'm saying? Even though I rap, my favorite genre of music is R&B. I listen to R&B more than anything. And so my daughter, her top R&B artist right now is SZA, Summer Walker, and what's the girl from Cali, the little Asian mixed girl?
Her.
No, not her. Not her. The little one. Damn. I like her too. I can't even think of her name right now. She dope. I like all 3 of them. I think they all very dope. But when you listen to the content in the music, like the content in the music now is crazy. Like
it's man bashing.
It's a lot of man bashing going on, but it's a lot of vulgar, like explicit content as well. Like the sexual content is over the top. Like it's one thing for the rappers, right? It's one thing for the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions, but now you got these dope singers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like singing hit different. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you look like Jasmine Sullivan's latest album, it's called Hotels. That's the name of the album. It's called Hotels, and they got her on some hot girl shit. Like
literally HOE, ho, not hotel.
That's not how they spell it. She spells it like on some French shit, but that's what it means. Right. Yeah, that's what it means. You know what I'm saying? And they basically talking about now they want to be like niggas now. You know what I'm saying? If niggas could sleep with multiple chicks and do this, that, and the third, I could do the same thing. And, you know, and so it's like, damn, you know, because me and my baby girl, we bond over music.
Yeah. You gonna have to introduce her to some 90s.
She do. Don't worry. She got her Lauryn Hill. She love Lauryn Hill and all of that stuff. She know it. You know what I'm saying? She know the good stuff too. And I think there's a fair balance. But it's like, damn, man, like we can't even vibe to some of these songs.
No, not as father and daughter. No.
We can't even vibe to some of these songs. And we got this thing where, you know, she'll FaceTime me out of nowhere. She get mad when I call it FaceTime because I'm an Android. It's not a FaceTime, but Google Duo.
Oh, Duo. Yeah. Duo.
You know, we video chat each other. She'll video call me out of nowhere, and won't even say nothing. She'll just have a song playing and we just start singing. You know what I'm saying? That's like a little thing that we do. But some of these songs we like, they talking crazy in some of these songs. So y'all got to help me out, man. As a father, like, you know, I don't know how to navigate these waters sometimes, man. Because I don't want to be hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that real though. It's just that you got to be the realist with her from a male's perspective. You just have to lace her with as much game as you can. You know, as a father, obviously she's gonna, you know, make her own mistakes, whatever those are gonna be. But the more game you lace her with, the least mistakes I believe that she would make. And I say that because my daughter is 26 years old, y'all, 26 years old. And she and her father are like this, how you say the FaceTime, and like if he don't talk to her for a day, he flipping out. Like they are super close. And I believe the love, one, and the game that he's laced her with has helped her along the way, because it's a lot of things that I've been waiting for certain mistakes to happen, like with relationships and things like that just haven't happened. Like, and I'm just like, hell, is it gonna happen when she's 45? Like, but Jasmine is just like,
is she in a
my
relationship?
daddy taught me. She a quick to say, my daddy, you know, taught me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't experienced certain things with her that I thought I would, maybe as a teen, like late teens or something like that. But daddy was on his shit that it just didn't happen.
Now, is she in a relationship now?
Yes.
Yeah, we telling your business out here in these streets.
Right.
We talking about your business out here in these streets. Yeah. Oh, so they've been together for a while?
No,
this is something new.
Yeah, this is
something new.
But that's the thing, though. So Jasmine is like, as soon as she smells shit, she out.
Okay.
Yeah, she just like, you know, not to say she won't give people a chance, but you know, if I give you maybe 1 or 2 chances and you keep on in the next, like she just.
And that is something that I try to instill in my baby girl, right? To have a low tolerance for bullshit, to not put up with no bullshit, because she's like, you know, she love everybody, she accepting of everybody and just everything. Nicely girl got up out of here. It's not me this time. I don't know what happened to her. She'll be back in a minute. Her dad taught her games that men's play. Yeah, I don't know, man. I be trying to, you know, keep it as real as possible. Like, I don't really sugarcoat nothing. I try to keep an open line of communication with all my kids, but definitely with my daughter, man, because you know, I know we can't save them from all of these different situations and scenarios. You know, she got to live her life and go through what she got to go through, but I'm trying to avoid as much of the drama and bullshit as possible. And so sometimes with the music, man, it could just be overwhelming, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, because it would be one thing if the music was trash, right? But Summer Walker could sing. She's a dope songwriter. She got good melodies. She got a nice voice. Like, her tone is incredible. You know what I mean? Same thing with SZA. I really like SZA as a songwriter and all of that. So it would be easier if the music was trash. But the music is dope. You know what I'm saying? But the content is just super vulgar, man. And so
they're not talking about love or even love making.
They're not even. It's not no shit. It's not no shit that you could play at the wedding or
nothing.
Nah. They don't even make them kind of songs. It's all about, you know, let me put this C on your mustache and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what? I was surprised again that my daughter waited as long as she did. Like, you know, it helped. So just lace her with that game. I'm telling you, just be there, remain close. Like, I love my daughter and her father's relationship. Like, I thought, you know, you think as they get older, things will fizzle out, and it didn't.
So, yeah, I was a little worried about that too, but I feel like we're getting closer. You know what I'm saying? As she going through these teen years, because I was like, man, when she become a teenager, she really gonna be wanting to do her own thing, and I'm just gonna be the old man over here. But nah, she does confide in me, and you know, she respects my opinion. You know, we have great conversations. I love the way that things are going. You know what I mean? And
You know
I think
what?
she's
She'll never be
comfortable
scared to
talking
tell
to
you.
me about touchy things.
Yeah, I was gonna say that she'll never be scared to tell you anything. My daughter is not scared to tell her father and I anything. Like, there's nothing that's off limits because she fears judgment or anything like that. She already knows, regardless, good, bad, we're gonna be here. You know, we're gonna talk you through it, walk you through it, or ride through it with you. You know, so I also like the fact that because of their closeness, she wasn't scared to tell him or me anything. Now, we will be on her head, don't get me wrong, but she understood that certain things I have to go to my parents for, you know, and I think certain things she may go to him for more and me more. Like, she has her picks, but the like most important things, most of the time she go to both of us.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
And that's what I want too for my baby girl, because you're gonna need both perspectives.
Yeah.
You're gonna need both perspectives. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to make the best sound decision for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like we got all the answers, but we do have certain experience to be able to understand certain warning signs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
My
So yeah,
son's the opposite though. My son will not talk to his dad about anything. He wants everything to come through me. I'm talking even a little dingling questions and stuff. Like, I'll be like, wait a minute, like, you need to call your father. I don't know. I don't have one. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, no, well, let's research it together. Get you up on Google. Like, no, I'm not talking to my dad. I want to talk to you. And I just be like, so I'll be calling his dad, like, bro, like, I'm gonna need you know what I'm saying, to have, because he just asked me, I don't even know what to say. Like, it, which I'm good at my faces, you know, and having the conversation, but sometimes I be just thrown all the way off. And when I tell him to talk to his dad, he's like, no, I'm talking to you. My daddy awkward. You're not.
Yeah, so that's that. You know, that's something that, you know, dad got to establish, man. Nothing you could do about that.
Yeah, he just thinks like he's still he treats him like he's a baby. Mind you, my son is probably 2 inches taller than him. They already wear the same size shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is gonna tower over you at this point. You're gonna be looking up to him. Treat him like a young man, not little Ty anymore, because he's grown up. And I think a part of him just wants to keep him a kid. But you're gonna have to, you know, get out of that. Like, his voice is changing, everything. Like, bro, you gotta have these talks.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. That was a whole bar too, Mama Love. We have to stop raising people who have to recover from their childhood.
Right.
All right, that's a fact, man. And yes, viewer one, my daughter does have talks with me about different things. I don't know if I could say everything, you know what I'm saying? But I am thankful that she does have other people that she is comfortable talking to as well, other than just me. You know what I'm saying? There's other people that, you know, she has open conversations with who I respect as well. So, you know, although I wish I could be everything, you know what I mean? It's a team effort. It's a team effort. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm doing the best I can. We'll see how things go. Right? That's all we could really do. So yeah, there was a lot of topics we didn't really get to touch on today. Let me look at this. Let me look at the flyer just so we can at least briefly.
Juicy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We can't leave Juicy out. We can't leave Juicy out. Justice for Juicy.
Juicy. Oh Lord.
Y'all know that French actor, Jussie Smollett. Y'all know the French actor, Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett was found guilty on damn near all of the charges. They had him with like 8 different counts or whatever that he was charged with. Bunch of bullshit. It's not even like no major serious charges or nothing.
Mm-mm.
But I really don't understand why he took it all the way to trial like that. Like, why you ain't just count your losses? Like, why would you take that all the way to trial like that?
And I don't think he did though. Didn't they do it kind of like, as they investigated more? I think they decided to take him, to press charges.
Nah, but you could have just pled guilty to something.
Or take a plea.
You could have just pled guilty to something and got that thing done and over with. Like, I admit to this. I lied about this. Let's give me some probation or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now he put himself in a situation where I think he could face like up to 3 years or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know if they're gonna give him no 3 years. They might. They might, being that he made them waste all them tax dollars and all of that shit on that trial when it was very obvious that you was lying from the beginning, Juicy. Like, nobody ain't believe that shit from the beginning. As a matter of fact, hold on, because you've been pulling up the receipts though. I gotta go to your page.
The story was just so much. It was just like, first of all, it was just too, I don't know, Lee Daniels.
Yes, exactly. That shit was like a script.
Like, bro, you could have kept all that extra stuff. Like, it was just too much. Like, when you think about it now, I just laugh because it was just so stupid.
Hold on. Which page you got that stuff on? Because I want to show that.
The one, I'll tell you right now. Is which are you looking for? All of the
all of the people that was caping for him when the story first came out.
Nyctegur one.
Okay. Because we do got to remind y'all,
right?
Because from the beginning, black media first of all, we was quiet. We wasn't saying nothing in the beginning, and then they started to say, "Oh, black man silence on Jussie Smollett situation is very telling." Homophobia in the black community and blah blah blah. If let's say this shit was true, right? Let's say he was really attacked by some white MAGA dudes in the middle of a goddamn winter vortex or whatever it was called, one of the coldest days ever in Chicago. Right? Let's say that really did happen. The media and the Democratic shills was trying to find a way to blame it on black men anyway.
Right.
They were still trying to bend and scratch to figure out a way to make this a black man issue. We ain't have nothing to do with it, so we was just quiet.
Right.
We knew something wasn't right. And so we just wasn't saying nothing. We wasn't trying to throw Jussie under the bus. We was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but that don't sound right.
Right.
Yeah, Janae Aiko. Thank you, Mom. Janae Aiko. That's whose name I couldn't remember. The other singer that my daughter loves.
It's you, a black man, and 2 other black men, right, that's plotting this whole BS. And then y'all are also allowing people to run with this, and black men are anti-gay, a homophobic narrative the entire time. So I'm like, was that supposed to be the narrative anyway, to come down on black men? Were they trying to get some type of LGBT policy pushed through? Yeah, they were. The anti-LGBT lynch bill or something. Remember Cory Booker and Kamala were trying. Yeah, you're right. There it is. That didn't happen though, right?
No, they pushed that through quick.
They did push that. Okay.
Yeah, they pushed that through quick. And the thing is, like we always say, it's really no need for these new laws. Like, it's already against the law to lynch somebody.
Period.
Right? It's not an explicit anti-lynching bill, from all of the shit that we went through during Jim Crow and all of that, but it's against the law to lynch somebody. Right? Like, that's not legal. You can't just do that. You know what I mean? But
enforce the laws that we have.
You're absolutely right. All of the LGBT, the white LGBT little nonprofit groups and all of that, they came right out on top of this, putting up their cash apps, putting up their GoFundMes and all of that stuff. Yeah, they was milking this thing. They was getting money right off the bat. And then it was pushing that anti-lynching bill, Cory Booker, y'all, and Kamala Harris, and all of these top Democrats was using the Jussie Smollett situation to get that anti-lynching bill pushed through, right? And then it comes out that the nigga was lying, which we all knew, right? It was him and his bathhouse buddies that plotted this whole thing.
The bathhouse buddies.
His bathhouse buddies, because it came out during the trial. That's the thing. Why go to trial when you got to air out all this dirty laundry? You and these dudes was hanging out in the bathhouse, jerking each other off, sniffing cocaine. Why we need to know all that?
So now he can blame it on the drugs, though. You know, I didn't realize what I was doing. You know, Empire, the show was ending. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where my career was going to go. And I just had a moment of bad decision making, and I went to drugs and an excuse. You know, that's part of the excuse that he wants to come up with as well. He wants to make himself a victim versus the black men that he lied on, right? Or, you know, because this was, or the people, his shields, his buddies, right? That were pushing this narrative that, you know, black men being silent is homophobia. He never came out and defended. He could have said, well, it wasn't black men that attacked me. It was, you know, white MAGA people. He didn't come out and say otherwise. He didn't say, well, it was black men that was trying to help me. We all were victimized. This isn't black men and LGBT against one another thing. This is about, you know, white supremacy or something like that. Like, why didn't he do that?
Because he was too busy trying to be the Tupac of the gay community.
Oh,
he said, I'm the gay Tupac. I'm the gay Tupac. And then he went through Don Lemonade under the bus.
Right.
Don Lemonade got dragged into this thing. Now
aren't they got like exchanging words? I heard like now they were kind of bickering a little bit about that.
Well, I didn't see that. I didn't see what happened after that. Was there?
I heard it came out. I saw something on here that they were kind of, you know, mad at each other. Or Don Lemonade was upset.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so, because it came out during the trial that Don Lemon was the one that tipped him off that he was going to be investigated because the police weren't buying his story, right? And now they said, you know, that's not against the law for him to do that, but that might be a violation of his contract agreement with CNN. You know what I'm saying? That might be a breach of contract agreement. So, you know, Don Lemon might lose his job over there behind Jussie.
Well, you know what? It's a bunch of executives, you know, at CNN too, that, you know, there were an executive at CNN that had some young girls, you know, trying to teach them how to be sexy and sexual and stuff. So it's like, yeah, you know, CNN, y'all need to sit down.
Yes. Yeah. Y'all don't remember that Jackson and Queen Creek when Jussie was saying he was the gay Tupac?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all don't remember that? But yeah, that story right there too. That's that story right there. So there was a executive from CNN. Speaking of CNN,
Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yes, CNN producer John Griffin arrested for attempting to persuade minors to engage in unlawful sexual activity. This story was just released yesterday. CNN.com.
And so
Griffin is 44 years old, by the way.
And the parents were involved too, right? He was talking to the mothers and the fathers about grooming their teenage and preteens to be sexually subservient, because he's into this BDSM. What do they call that shit? You know, that all that kinky shit. Some of these white boys be into, like slave play and all of that stuff that they be into. You know, whipping you and hot wax and all of that type of stuff. And so he was into that type of shit. And so he was recruiting these parents, paying parents, and flying them out to different places, to ski lodges and whatnot, to bring their daughters to be trained on how to be sexually subservient. This is a high executive over at CNN, y'all.
How do you even vet parents, I guess, to see who's into that? There has to be some type of underground, you know, place where this is already happening, because I can't even imagine
Because you wouldn't
someone
just
getting
ask
at
me
me
no
like
shit
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
You're
wouldn't
like,
just
come
ask
on
me
now.
no shit like that. Oh, you got a 15-year-old daughter? Why don't you, I could fly you guys out to the ski lodge, and
Right.
I could train her how to be sexually subservient. Like, you wouldn't just ask me that.
Right. And you're like, yeah, well, let me bring Shaquisha. She got to learn one way or the other. Like, are you crazy?
So, what's happening in the house already? What's already going on in the house?
Incest, pedophilia, degenerate behavior.
Man, yeah, man. Some of this stuff, man. And again, that ties back into that Ghislaine Maxwell story, that Jeffrey Epstein shit and all that shit. Like, this stuff goes on in these Hollywood circles, you know what I mean? And these corporate media circles, you know what I'm saying? And so right now, I guess they just getting rid of some of the ones that they consider to be expendable, or maybe they done violated some type of code, and now they on the outs. And so, because how did that come out? How did that come out?
Someone had to have leaked it and expose him, but you had to be there to expose this situation as well. So there you have it. Now this person may be cutting a deal to keep themselves out of jail by exposing this CNN, executive something. But it had to
Right.
be someone there that knew who he was and exposed him.
Right. Let me just.
But it's just, it's creepy out here. It's very, very creepy out here. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff is happening. Like, it's not that it hasn't been happening, but if you notice, it's a lot of these rich, powerful people that have been getting exposed a lot, with this crap. Usually it's the, creepy neighbor, or the creepy man around the corner or something like that. But this is like high up.
Jackson, that's their whole mentality. No pineal gland, no soul can be present, no compassion, intelligence, spirituality, etc. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, unfortunately.
These are facts. This is what gives them the capacity to behave in this manner. This is what gives them that capacity. This is the reason why, we sometimes we get mad at our people for being so forgiving and compassionate and all of that. But again, it's part of our nature, right? It's part of our nature as light beings, being connected to the all. You know what I mean? And the reason why we see this savage behavior and barbaric mentality coming from these Europeans is because that calcified pineal gland, right? That they lack the connection to the other world. They lack that connection. And so, again, like Jackson said, no compassion, no intelligence, no spirituality, etc. That's real shit.
Who also, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was some Caucasian woman that bragged about having sex with her dogs. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. Like Vicky Diller said, we don't do that.
Black people don't do that.
The black people don't do that. It's just certain things we don't do. You know what I'm saying? And our dog ain't allowed in the kitchen. It's just certain things we don't do. We don't let our cats jump on top of the sink while we cooking and all that. It's just certain things black people don't do. We bathe every day. We brush our teeth. It's just certain things, that we do. And then there's just certain things we just simply do not do, and that's one of them. Look at that.
Yeah. And so that was Kamala. Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or of their color or because of the color of their skin. We must confront this hate. And that's another thing too, right? When this shit came out, it was all about racism and homophobia. homophobia and racism. They was upplaying the homophobic aspect and downplaying the racial aspect, right? But now that it comes out that he was lying, he was lying about a racist attack. They don't even say homophobic no more. They just say he was lying about a racist attack and MAGAs and all of that. But they don't even say homophobic no more. They don't want no parts of that now. No. But before, they was trying to shame us if we said that it was a racist attack, those of us who even believed it in the first place. If a black man said it was a racist attack, don't leave out the homophobic part.
Right.
You was getting drugged for that.
Why is it homophobic, though, if black masculine men, right, decide that they don't not approve, or just don't agree with men walking around in dresses and skirts, right? As a heterosexual, I'll just say this, as a heterosexual man, I don't think that's homophobic. You're just calling out something that is a bit out of the norm. You know, we grew up, I know for me, you know what I'm saying, I didn't see black men walking around in skirts. And now we have another NBA player, Jordan Clarkson, you know, showing up to a game today in a skirt. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't know. For me, you know, they understand who their core audience is. They know that a lot of these young kids are trying to grow up and be in the NBA. And then you guys are sending these messages, him in a skirt. You have young boy NBA talking about I wear makeup because, you know, sometimes I just want to put it on. And, you know, they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I just cannot believe that there's not some type of agenda. I'm sorry. No. You know, and this is not about being homophobic, or because I love gay people. I have gay people in my family. You know, I'm black first, though, period, point blank. But we're talking about a specific agenda. We're talking about these people trying to figure out ways to usher in the acceptance of pedophilia. And they use athletes, they use rappers, they use other entertainers to get to the children, you know, to normalize this stuff. So when something happens to them, if something happens to them, kids think that it's okay because it's been normalized.
Okay, because I was going to say, when you say they know what they're doing, I was going to say, are you talking about the young athletes and rappers, or are you talking about
their handlers?
Geppetto.
The pedos, I think that the people, you know, they're stylists, right? Because why is a man in a dress, in a skirt? You know, like, make that part make sense for me. Like, what is that about?
Yeah, and that's the thing, because a lot of these guys are very young, new to the industry, new to the league or whatever. And so they were the ones who have been targeted over the last 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason why we're on high alert about it now is because we understand the agenda that's taking place, right? We understand that they on the you know, forward march with this buck breaking agenda. Whereas back in the days, you know, if somebody like Dennis Rodman, you know, when he did whatever he was doing, that was just him. But it was no need for us to really go on high alert about it. You know what I'm saying? We called it what it was. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was trying to normalize it and say that this is masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Like Prince, you know, Prince was very androgynous, you know what I'm saying, back in the 80s and 90s and all of that stuff. And that was just Prince.
That was him.
And so we didn't see it as a part of some broad agenda that was taking place. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, we didn't have no big problem with it. It was like, okay, you know, it is what it is. That's him. I ain't about to do the shit.
Right.
Yeah, you caught that, right? When I said it, I heard it too, Jackson. Jackson, I think you're an MC on the low. Let me find out.
Jackson might be an MC all day.
On the low. Huh? Jackson crazy.
Jackson been cutting up with me all day.
Yo, y'all don't know. We got a little group chat. Yo, y'all be wilding in it. Y'all be wilding in the group chat. Yo, we gonna get Jackson. We gonna get Jackson to come out the shadows on y'all ass.
Yeah,
Jackson crazy, man.
But yeah, like you said, the entertainers.
Nah, Prince wasn't in a dress. I'm not saying he was wearing a dress, but you know, he was wearing makeup and heels and shit.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
he had his booty out on the award show, like, you know.
yeah. It was very the thing about Prince for me, like it's so crazy, and I feel like there's almost a double standard in a sense, you know, because he did wear makeup, he did wear the high heel boots, he did wear his ass out, but I still saw this man literally as masculine. Like I just felt like he had his own style. I don't know what you call it, but I just felt like
Androgynous.
yes, yes. You know, I still saw him as a man. I didn't see him wanting to be a woman. I felt like he loved women. I never felt weird. I'm sorry, I just didn't. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
mean,
biased.
it was one of those things with Prince, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know, as kids, we would say, you know, is Prince gay? You know, we used to speculate whether he was gay or not, but he was always adamant about that he wasn't,
right.
right? And he was always linked up with the finest women on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And then when you hear the stories from other people that was around him, you know, you get to say, no, Prince was a real nigga.
There was a
You know what I'm
whole
saying? And then the other thing about it is he was one of the most talented people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't nobody studying them damn heels.
Right.
Play that guitar, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the problem with a lot of these niggas is they ain't even got no talent. And so it's a gimmick. You know, the dresses and the makeup and all that stuff is the gimmick because you don't have talent.
Talent.
You know what I'm saying? The NBA young boys and the Lil Nas X's and people like that. You know, they have to use this stuff as a gimmick to get clout because they don't have the talent to sustain themselves, to sustain a real career. They have to be propped up by, you know, the industry. You know what I'm saying? Big corporations and all that. Whereas Prince had to go against these same corporations and still be the icon that he is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's
So
crazy.
that was the difference right there.
It's literally they're definitely trying to kill off the warrior class 1000%. And the only way that you can do that is the next generation, these young cats that's growing up, right? That's our next warrior class. If they out here prancing around in dresses and putting on makeup and getting in touch with their feminine side, you know, we would dying out here if that's the case.
Right. Our LGBTQ artists like Little Richard have always been about the talent. Facts.
Always. And you know what? We never judged. We knew, you know, what he was too. But guess what? He was selling out concerts. We were still supportive of his career, never critical of him because
we
of
didn't give a damn about that.
The talent was there though.
And Little Richard would call out racism.
Absolutely.
Little Richard would call out the anti-black racism. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to conflate it with his sexuality or nothing. He was calling it what it was.
And remember, there's a video of him, I think from either maybe the late 70s, early 80s, where he spoke on how, you know, him looking feminine and putting on the makeup and stuff like that in the industry made him less threatening, basically.
Yeah.
They were okay with that. So they didn't want a masculine black man, especially in that era, making money, you know, becoming famous, because guess what? The Becky's was on him.
Yeah, he couldn't perform at certain venues until he started to wear the makeup and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And it was like, oh, okay.
It became less threatening.
Mm-hmm. That's real, y'all. That's real stuff, man. So yeah, we've been on here a long time tonight, y'all.
You know, Sundays be good. Sundays be good.
Word up. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And you know, if you really appreciate the content, y'all see the Cash App right there on the screen. Hit up the Cash App tonight.
That's right.
Viewer one, I ain't forget about you. You gotta send me that Cash App, Viewer one. DM me or something, because I wasn't joking. I appreciate you.
Before we check out, I know I shared this in our little private. So that NFL player Glenn Foster Jr., who passed away in police custody in Louisiana, Mushmouth Crump has now. The family has retained Mushmouth Crump as the attorney, I guess, to get behind what really happened in reference to his death.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out. I guess, he's not that popular because I couldn't find much about him. But I was trying to see what his stance was during the Kaepernick protests and all of that stuff.
Right.
Because
Couldn't find nothing.
a lot of niggas was buck dancing, but I couldn't really find nothing about him. I guess, he wasn't like a star player or nothing. But I do see that, was it him? Because the other player just died from a medical condition.
Right.
And I might be getting the two mixed up, but one of them had started a business where they was like building furniture and stuff like that.
I think that's a different dude. That's a different dude. I think that's actually the one that you have on the flyer.
Okay.
A totally different guy. Now, this one, I think they're alleging a seizure.
A seizure?
A seizure, yeah.
Demarius Thomas.
Yeah.
RP Demarius Thomas passed away a couple of days ago. They were just saying a medical condition. They weren't being specific about it.
I saw something, I want to say yesterday, allegedly a cousin of his or so was at the house with him. He allegedly had a seizure in the shower and died.
Okay. RP to that, brother. Yeah, I think he is the one that had started that business that I was talking about, because he was retired from the NFL. But yeah, a lot of athletes, man, I've just been seeing, especially in soccer.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the athletes have just been like falling out, passing out out of nowhere.
Cardiac arrest. A lot of them.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they're just trying to say like it's just a big coincidence and all of that, but these are some of the healthiest people out here.
Right.
I mean, just all of a sudden, and there's no precedent for it. Like in no previous seasons where you've seen anything similar like this happening. Just all of a sudden, this season, all of these soccer players in different parts of the world, same thing happening to them.
All the same reason or the same issue, cardiac arrest or heart issues.
And the only thing that's new, as we all know, are these mandates.
That's all.
That's the only thing that's new. So, might have to put on the tinfoil kufi.
Right. Put your tinfoil dashiki on.
You know what I'm saying? Launching guaranteed income. Oh, damn, that was another thing too. The guaranteed income program for Black women.
Oh yeah, the $850.
Yeah, the $850 swindle. And so, okay, just briefly on that. I guess they had already started implementing in some other states, but now it's coming to Georgia. $850 a month for 2 years is going to go to 650 Black women. You have to be a woman. You have to be Black. And I guess they're supposed to be doing like some type of experiment to see if cash payments make any type of difference in people's lives. Yeah, this is supposed to be like an experiment. That's why there's only 650 people who are going to qualify for this program. It's not like just statewide or anything like that. But I guess they're going to, I don't know what the criteria is exactly that you have to meet, but it's going to be 650 women that they're going to give $850 a month to for 2 years. And they're supposed to study to see if that has any impact on their mental health or on other parts of their lives. If they could take the burden of, some of these bills that you have to pay off your shoulders, what effects will that have on your life? But they're promoting it as if Black people are supposed to be celebrated because this is something that's specific for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When that's not the case at all, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
it's not the case at all.
I'll just say, living in California, $850 ain't gonna help too much of nothing with how expensive it is to live here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot get a studio for under $1,500 a month.
But $850 a month passive will be beneficial to anybody, right?
Right.
$850 a month passive income would be beneficial to anybody. It ain't, you know, it ain't reparations. That's for damn sure. But you know, $850 a month passive. But my thing is, why not give it to both
Black
parents?
family. Yeah, Black families.
Yeah, why not give it to the mother and the father?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? $850 a piece.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, if they're in the same house together, just double it. You know, what can I do, you know, for that household? But I'm sure there's some type of, you know, red tape. Black man can't be in the home, kind of like with the whole, you know, Section 8, you know, thing.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere in there, he cannot be present.
Exactly. Why only women? That's why I was saying I don't know what other criteria these women are going to have to meet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be some of that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
No man in the house rule all over again.
More,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know, but we about to get up out of here, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the cash apps, by the way. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate y'all. We love these Sunday chats. I feel like this is more of a chat with everybody, even though we have our specific topics. The chat be lit. Thank you so much, you guys, for engaging and tuning in tonight.
Yes, indeed. We just come on here and chop it up, man. You know, sometimes we get to the story, sometimes we don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate y'all rocking with us for sure. Make sure y'all share this out. You know, invite some people to come chop it up with us as well. And yeah, Jackson, where's our repair?
Right.
Jackson is on the committee. Jackson is on the committee because I like his language.
Man.
I like his language. You know what I mean? He got a way with words when it comes to these repairs. Sent it to everyone in your messenger. Appreciate that for sure. But you know, we know we're in for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they might tune in for a hot second and be like, "Oh no, this is kind of black in here. It's kind of black in here." You know what I mean? But it's all good. Everybody that's supposed to be here is here, and everybody that's watching us on the replay, shout out to y'all as well. Appreciate y'all. Make sure that y'all like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Gotta always remind you of that. We will be back here again on Wednesday and Thursday. 2 back-to-back Black Business Showcases coming up this week for y'all as well. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you are following me on all social media platforms at SincereluvdaGod. And my lovely co-host is at nyctegur with the number 1 on Instagram and without the number 1 on all other social media platforms. Why isn't our names on here, by the way? Let me go something. I must have changed
They
something.
know what it is.
I must have changed something. I'm gonna have to mess with the settings on here or something. But yeah, at SincereluvdaGod on all social media platforms, at nyctegur number 1 on Instagram, and without the 1 on all other social media platforms. So definitely tap in with us, ladies and gentlemen. And that does it for this evening. And so remember, like I always say, we are not the master teachers. We are merely the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Appreciate y'all rocking with us.
Yes, and make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday for another great episode with Sincere Love the Godcast Black Business Showcase. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We will see you on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, good night, everybody.
You forgot something.
Oh, and well, so let me just start over, y'all, because we be trying to get this right. So make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday for another great episode with Sincere Love the Godcast Black Business Showcase. We will be having Honey Queen Juice Bar on the show, and she will be letting us all up in her Black business.
Yep.
So make sure you guys tap in on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
As we take y'all black.
As we take y'all black to the future.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to get better. getting
All right.
better.
Peace, y'all.
Do for self or suffer the consequences.